Right, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the press conference for Game 3 of the 2024 NCAA Division III Baseball Championships for the game between Birmingham-Southern and Salve Regina. This is Salve Regina's portion of the press conference. We're joined by head coach Eric Cirilla and student athletes Tyler Canoe, Brady Smolinski, and Kyle Carosa. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach and then open it up for questions. Coach?
Statement, huh? Wow, that was incredible, honestly. You know, these games are so difficult to win, and every team here is so talented. You saw it in the first game, or I guess the second game with Endicott, like just down, and then they bring a tying run to the plate. Lynchburg made pitches, and you know, again today, it wasn't, no lead is safe, and it was nice to see these guys come out and play like we do play, and you know, land the first couple punches and not be timid, even though nobody in America wants us to win or picked us to win. Nobody, except for the guys in the clubhouse and you know, the parents and the alumni. So that was kind of cool. And then obviously they're going to make their push, and we weathered the storm through a tough seventh inning, and you know, Kyle made some huge pitches there in the eighth to get a really good hitter out, and then I guess he made 8 pitch in the eighth, and then some really good pitches in the ninth inning. So you know, tip my cap to him. I think he's the all-time save leader. Kid should be on All-Region and All-American with, I don't know how many saves now, 12 or so, but that's just a story for another day.
Okay, we'll open up for questions. If you could say who you are and the organization you're with, please.
All right, Pat Coleman, D3Baseball.com. Right, you guys had to obviously see everything that's being talked about your opponent throughout the first couple of weeks of the playoffs and leading into this. How did you guys put that out of your mind to get ready for actually taking field?
Honestly, from the time we got into the regionals at Cortland, we weren't, you know, being the 1 seed, we weren't the favorite. It's the same. We go down to Salisbury and drive 8 hours and everyone's picking Salisbury. It just, like, that works for us. I don't want you to pick us. I don't want you to root for us. It's a great story if you saw where we came from, but I think it makes for a better, you know, it brings us together. It gives us something to fight for, and that didn't change today. You know, everyone picked them, everyone rooted for them, and we just want to play our game. And you know, if we play well, it doesn't matter who's on the other side. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. And we did play pretty well today for the most part.
Yeah, like of those things that we saw, especially as you guys built that 7-0 lead in the first however many innings. What of that is like classic Salve Regina baseball, your game?
That's a great question. I feel like I blacked out for a couple of those innings. You know, it's not, I'll tell you what, it's not the 3-run homer.
Right.
Yeah. That's something new. But I think it's hitting with 2 strikes, which some guys did there. I know it wasn't our best 2-strike performance. We had 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. That's pretty good. You know, that's pretty good. I take that most days against those guys. I think it's just putting the ball in play. I think it's coming out right away. I think it's getting leadoff guys on. You know, to me, that's the name of the game. We didn't really use small ball much. We tried to put a hit and run on it. Tyler hit it over the fence. So, you know, it's a different way every game. I think we have a dynamic offense where we can steal some bags and we can do some little things, but you know, if guys make mistakes, these are grown men that get the ball to the fence as well.
Well, let me ask about those 2 big hits. First off, Tyler, I know yours was second, but he just mentioned you, so we'll start with you. You know, what did you see out there? Was it a mistake, or did you just hit something that was?
Actually, funny you asked that. As I was rounding third base, I thanked him for putting on the hit and run because I just swung it. There was no thinking. I just had to protect Matt. I had to protect Matt on first, and I just had to hit the ball, and it so happened to go out.
That's how you draw it up, right?
It takes the thinking out of it sometimes. If you just, I mean, there's 2 or 3 guys in our lineup where if you just give them a hit and run, their percentages of being successful because it just takes thinking out of it. They're going to swing, and they don't have to, you know, think yes, 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 no. And Tyler's one of those guys. So hopefully that's not the last one.
Brady, did you have to think a little more than that on yours?
I mean, not really. It's just 2 outs, runners on base, just trying to do a job for the guys. Saw that he was going to the cutter a lot early, threw 4 pitches for strikes, so I was just trying to see something over the white and do a job.
What kind of action were you seeing on his?
I mean, it was a good pitch. He was, like I just said, he was throwing 4 pitches for strikes pretty much the entire time he was out there. Good command of everything. So, I mean, it wasn't, you can't really go up there guessing for one pitch. You kind of just got to show up, turn the mind off, and swing the bat, do a job.
Kyle, maybe it's similar in the 9th, right? First of all, everybody in the stadium is feeling it, right? Everybody on their side of the stadium is loud. They're expecting them to do something, crazy like they've done in previous games. And then you come and you settle down and strike out those 3 guys in the game.
Yeah, with everything going on, you kind of just stop thinking about it. The only thing going through my head is probably my mother back home freaking out. Because every time she texts me after the game, I could just make it easy for her. But yeah, I mean, it's just another 9th inning, really. I just go out there and try to compete the best I can.
I have to ask, have you seen your phone since the game, or?
I'm scared to look at it, really, to be honest. I know I'm probably going to get 3 different texts from siblings saying how I made her feel tonight.
Brady, you have a front row seat, obviously, to what he's doing out there. What did you see there on those down the stretch, those final batters?
I mean, it's been the same thing all year. Just goes out there, competes. You know exactly what you're going to get. Whether he has his A stuff, B stuff, C stuff. Today, I think he had his A stuff. He was right around the zone with everything. Even if we weren't getting the borderline call, it was still making good pitches. And at the end of the day, when he's on the mound, I'm fully confident, and I know he is too, that they're not going to beat him. So the confidence that we both have together late in games is very good.
Tyler, it seemed like maybe you wanted to add to that.
I was just agreeing with them. I feel like over the last 3 weeks, and I feel like I can say this for the whole team, we've always been tight, but these last 3 weeks have been a fairy tale. I mean, everything's kind of like felt surreal, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of us have really just come closer together these last 3 weeks.
Coach, no matter what Jim did in the all-region or all-American stuff, just talk a little bit more specifically about Kyle's performance today.
I mean, look, that's a talented team. It's a great lineup. Jan is a tremendous coach. She has a great coaching staff. They've been here a bunch. They're playing awesome baseball. And that lineup, they didn't put great swings on Kyle. I mean, that should tell you what you need to know. I mean, the Dutton kid there is tremendous, and you got a capper there, and Homer made a nice little play and dove on the bag, and then to lead off the 9th inning, I mean, it was a jam shot in no man's land by somebody who can hit the ball a long, long way. So that's just an unfortunate part of baseball. But I think that was the telltale sign. I mean, we're going to ride Kyle out. It wasn't like they were fouling balls straight back and like on the ball and stuff like that. I mean, he had his good stuff, and he had some guys guessing, and that's what I saw anyway.
Jim Dixon, D3Baseball.com. Talk about the job you started it. I think 86 strong innings.
Yeah, Braden, I mean, awesome. He was our quote-unquote guy a year ago, and got off to a slow start, and kind of people are like, why isn't he pitching on the weekends? Well, he just so happened to get sick on one weekend and we pushed him to a Tuesday, and he kind of stuck there through the year. But he was awesome. I mean, that's what you saw today is what you're going to get out of him. Is just super pitchability, super competitive, athletic kid who 3 pitches for strikes, changed eye levels, in, out, up, down, holds runners, gives you a chance every time he pitches, and guys are comfortable with him getting the ball, and that's the case for I think our top 3 or 4 guys. But Braden was awesome. I mean, 6 innings, and it's really hard because he didn't throw a ton of pitches. Part of me wanted to just give Jason a clean slate. Maybe we made it harder than it had to be, but in a tournament like this, you're trying to conserve arms and maybe not overextend your bullpen if you can help it. But a good lineup like that, the 3rd time through, they're gonna put better swings on, and it wasn't like they were splitting gaps, but they were finding some holes and I think in the back of our head, we had that eight-run inning from Salisbury still like lingering. So we didn't want to wait around too long, but you know, Braden was awesome, and I thought Jason was really sharp too. He got put in a really tough spot, and I think there was one pitch that we tried to elevate a fastball, and I think it might have been Dutton who singled through the 3-4 hole there.
Yeah.
That was just a mistake pitch. We were trying to elevate and then go back to the breaker. And when you make a mistake to a really good hitter, a really good team, he tipped your cap because he got on top of the ball and put it through the infield. But Jason threw well. He a couple pitches that were close. He didn't get calls, and you know, that's why we have a bunch of guys at the end of the bullpen to pick us up.
We have time for one final question here on the right.
Ed Habershaw from Salve Regina University. Coach Sorella, I'll rewind it back to the bottom of the first. What was the objective behind your meet and greet with the Panther fans as you went out to your coach's box?
When I saw them out there waving the flag, and I first I yelled at Scott. I told him, I didn't know everyone was going to bring flags to this thing. We could have brought some flags, but so I went out there and I was like, hey, I think my exact words were, if we shake it up right now and everything, you guys gonna go easy on me? They didn't know who I was. I don't know if they just had a roster, they just had the names, and they're calling me Pete, they're calling me Harrison, they're calling me every name in the book. But no, they didn't go easy on me. I thought maybe they would.